Hi, welcome back to Toadstool Tarot. I'm excited to be sharing with you today an out-of-print deck, which I ordered online. I don't remember how I found out about this, in somebody's walkthrough or Googling other decks. You never know where YouTube recommendations or deck purchases will lead you down a rabbit hole to some other decks. But I found this one and it intrigued me. So I looked for it, couldn't find it anywhere except a vendor location called Poshmark, which I'd had no experience ordering from before. And I went there and placed an order. It was the only place I could find this deck. It's called, and I may not be pronouncing it correctly, the Cheimonette Tarot deck. It's Cheimonette. The Cheimonette Tarot is a new kind of deck applying a unique interpretation to a traditional card structure. It's designed to encourage educated, free association and a creative approach to using tarot. There's no other information on the box except, well, you saw the front and that's the back. Before I go there, I should tell you that while I didn't expect or ask for or want the extras that came in the package, the shop owner, vendor, is very passionate about her site, which I do appreciate. Even though I didn't request all this stuff, it came in a very large box, and the box contained a lot of this lovely, sparkly purple tissue paper and glitter everywhere, including star glitter and other types of little glitter, which is very festive but also quite messy. But, you know, she loves her shop. She loves doing that, I guess. Well, here's an example. She also included a card in the box. And here's some little star glitter in the card. So let me sort of set that aside a moment so it's not all over the place. And actually, inside the box was also this purple bag with a package wrapped inside in the purple tissue. And the sticker on the bag, which I wasn't sure if it was a self-portrait. It turns out she has a self-published deck on her website, and she sent a card with several images from her deck. And a handwritten note, which I appreciate. She spent a lot of time handwriting this note just for me. Her name is Jo Off Duty. And the deck is called the Fool's Journey Tarot. And apparently she has other decks on her site too, which you can view all images. You can visit the link provided on her business card or just reach out to her. Well, I'm not going to give you the link, but you can look for it. Oh, she also gave me 2 copies of her business card. She's a freelance artist and tarot reader. She has an Instagram account too, but anyway. The card and the package both came in little envelopes with a little wax stamp of the image on her business card, which is apparently is the High Priestess from her tarot. And she also included this little organdy bag, mesh bag, with a little silver tin in it, and I thought, what is that all about? Well, there's a little explanation in here. It's a picture of a wolf on it. She says, please accept this magical gift to be used with your divination and spiritual journey. It's a mini altar set in which you can carry everywhere, wherever you go, and clear any negativity or blockages around you. Inside this mini altar you will find 2 crystal stones, amethyst for healing, clarity, and balance in life, green aventurine for heart healing, emotional calm, and provides shield to block entry of any other who tries to tap into your energy without your permission. 2 mini candles, Florida water in mini brown jar, sea salt from the earth in mini glass jar, 1 evil eye charm to guard against negativity, and mini metal tin box with the High Priestess image. So, like I said, I didn't ask for any of this, but I mean, she's so passionate about this, and I do appreciate her passion, and it was very thoughtful of her to include this. This is a little tin mini altar with the High Priestess image, which you probably can't see there. And we've got 2 little candles that she mentioned, a blue candle and a white candle. There is the brown glass jar with the Florida water and the little glass jar with the sea salt. There's the amethyst, the aventurine, and the little, what did she call it? Evil eye charm. Ooh. It's got a little bead in it, an eye that spins, which, I mean, it's very tiny, but you could, I guess, put it on a chain or a string and wear it. And it's all sitting in a little cotton bed. But I thought, how sweet was that for her to take all the time and bother to send me something that I neither asked for or ordered or expected. But, you know, it just goes to show how much some people are passionate about what they do. And I appreciate her passion and the thought and the time and effort. Don't know whether she thought it might offset some of the cost on the deck. I guess that's a little bit weird of me to think that, but for whatever the reasons, it was very nice of her. But let's get into the deck, because that's the main reason that I'm here to share this deck with you, which is very interesting. This deck, like I said, I don't know very much about it because it doesn't tell you much of anything on the box. There is a little book inside, and the book has no information to speak of on this particular deck, but does have full color images of all the cards, and it's glossy, and while the pages are unnumbered, it has probably a page for each card, so I guess 78 pages or so. And there's no information. On the cover it says companion book, description and meanings of the cards, Eden Gallanter. So I don't know if Eden Gallanter is the creator of the deck or just the creator of the book, text, copy. There's no printing information, no date release, nothing. You're on your own. But let me just tell you how this opens up. Pardon the expression, trumps. Starts off with trumps, also called the major arcana, are the array of central concepts at the core of human existence. Their order indicates a logical progression rather than a chronological one. The trumps cards are organized from the ground up. The cards positioned at the beginning are the ones fundamental to human consciousness. The ones towards the end are the agglomerated complex of human achievement. Trumps are about abstract ideas, and the minor arcana, the rest of the cards, are applied concepts, archetypes in practice. The Fool. This card does not belong in any category and is the only card without a number or color. It's like a pane of glass through which we can see the archetypes of the trumps. The Fool is an empty vessel who has had as yet no experiences or thoughts of its own, has committed no actions or reactions, and possesses no sense of identity. Balanced precariously on the tip of a mountain, the Fool is on the cusp of interaction with the world and therefore the seeds of self-awareness. From the tip of the highest mountain, any small movement will launch the Fool immediately into motion. It will tumble downwards, encountering all of the richness of the human experience, waiting for the Fool in the world below. And it goes on. But I just thought that was really interesting and gives you a little bit of insight as to how each card in the book, in the deck, or, well, in the book too, is approached. These cards are a nice size. I love sort of smallish cards. This is like sort of regular playing card size, a little bit wider. I like this size for shuffling. In most cases, I would say this is the perfect size. However, there is so much detail in this deck, and I'm not sure you're going to pick it all up by my camera. Keep my fingers crossed that you do. I do believe that this deck would benefit by the cards being slightly larger. Now, not as large as a deck that you can't shuffle, or oversized oracle deck, but definitely a regular size tarot deck, or maybe even slightly larger. But and all the cards are color. The borders are a little bit thicker than they need to be. The cardstock is okay. It's sort of a semi-gloss. It's not really glossy, but sort of. And they're all in color except the Fool, which is in black and white. Now this deck also, I suppose, is a sort of a fae deck. All the creatures on it seem to be of a realm related to either mer people, fish folk, or insect winged fairies, or plant tree related nymphs. And they're all pen and ink with, I assume, ink or watercolor wash. And you might do best if you're viewing this on a computer. I encourage you to view it at full screen mode. Even then, I'm not sure if you're going to pick up the detail in these cards. And to see how steady I'm able to hold my hand to give you an idea of the imagery. The borders are black, they're substantial. Like I said, I don't know when this came out. I thought I saw online somewhere that it was like in the mid to late 90s. And don't really know. It's what I would say an erotic deck. It's very sensual without being specifically sexual. There are a lot of nudes, and there's a lot of sort of dreamy darkness in the images. Some of the cards are renamed. See if I can remember when we get to them. Well, like this one is called the Priest as opposed to the Hierophant. And I actually do love the sort of wispy, delicate nature of the fine lines combined with the watercolor wash. This is not my usual cup of tea, this kind of art or this kind of deck, but there's a kind of an alien aspect to it. This is called Love rather than the Lovers, and you can see it's sort of conjoined twins with wings, kind of. The Chariot. This one I thought was interesting. I don't know if you can see. This is Justice, and it's a pair. You probably can't make it out, but there is a character with the upper torso of a woman and a mermaid's tail wielding a sword and being very affectionate, affectionately kissing or approaching to kiss, while at the same time approaching to stab a fish creature with humanoid legs, and one of the legs is clutching a spear poised at the mermaid. So it's very interesting in that combination of affection and aggression, sort of the two elements of the Two of Swords, I guess. Well, this isn't the Two of Swords, though. This is Justice. Next is the Hermit, which is not called Hermit, it's called Time, which is interesting to me because you have this sort of time element of the moon in the sky, sort of moon cycles or moon moving across the sky in quarters, or well, I don't know if it's quarters, some sort of a sliver there, and seems to be crippled by time in a way or something. I'm not sure what to read into that. Is walking on crutches and vulnerably nude and aged. And the crutches appear to be in water, and there's also a little lantern sort of rising from the water on some kind of plant that's growing out of the water. Interesting. The Wheel. This is fortitude instead of strength. And you can see the delicacy in the wing pattern. Really fine line detail, like an actual cicada wing or something. And we have the Hanged Man, which seems to be hung by either, well, it's got maybe a fallen angel. It seems to have a tail and wings, and the wings seem not feathered but more leathery, and the hands seem to be in chains, so I'm not sure what to make of that. Here we have Death, which is sort of a metamorph-like butterfly, and a child. The child seems to be born of this winged mother, but doesn't have wings of its own. Perhaps it's just being carried off by death. Temperance. In some ways, the delicacy of this line art and the obscure abstraction of these surrealistic designs reminds me of the White Witch Tarot that I love so much. Some of these images, however, are very dark. That's the Tower, the Star, the Moon, I love the two Anubis-like dog figures at the bottom. The sun. Oh. 20 is the angel, which would be judgment. 21 is the world. Now we have, instead of wands, staves, the ace of staves. And I believe there are a lot of serpents in the staves suit. This is a dark, dreamy deck, sort of seductive, enticing, not particularly pleasant dreams, but very interesting. And the court cards are human in a very exotic manner. This is the Princess of Staves. They're all close-ups. The Prince of Staves. Very striking portraits. The Queen of Staves, which is an old crone. And the King of Staves. Then we have the Ace of Cups. And there is a sort of a merfolk element in this suit. It's water-based, of course. No, I'm not really drawn to mermaid-type decks, but I'll tell you, the delicate line work in this and the intriguing sort of surreal quality and abstraction of the images kind of drew me to it. And it's actually counter to my January trend of bright, colorful decks, because this has some color to it, but it tends to be on the darker, more murky, deeper, thoughtful side, not the bright colors of rainbow daylight, but more like the bottoms of dark, deep pools or something like that. And here we have the Princess of Cups, the Prince of Cups, the Queen of Cups. And whereas we had an old Queen of Staves, we have an elder King of Cups. So there is some diversity in this deck, people who are looking for diversity. These are the Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, three, that's the Six of Swords, with a strategically placed butterfly. This is, I think, a very interesting Eight of Swords in a very claustrophobic position, trapped between two rocks or in a crevice between two mountains. And we have the Princess of Swords, the Prince of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and a very attractive King of Swords, sort of in bad boy mode. Then we have the Ace of Discs. Instead of pentacles, we have discs. It's not completely unheard of. We've found that in other decks before. Three of discs. There seem to be lots of moons or orbs and trees in this plant people in this suit. And a couple of horses. And we end on a wild note here with the Princess of Discs. These almost look like feral children. The Prince of Discs. The Queen of Discs. And the King of Discs is another handsome card. So I'm curious as to what you make of this deck, whether you'd ever heard of it before. Put it on your wish list if you like. I don't know how many of them were printed, how many are out there. I'm guessing it was an independently produced deck because there's no copyright information, there's no printing information on the box. Like I said, there's very little information even in the book, just on the cover. Eden Galanter. I don't know if that's the deck creator or not. I'm assuming it is, because it doesn't say text by Eden Galanter. It does say companion book, description and meanings of the cards, Eden Galanter. The Cheimonette Tarot. I think I did see somewhere online that the word, now I don't remember where I saw it or who the creator was, but the deck creator I found somewhere said that the word Cheimonette is a sort of a made-up word. Sounds like it's French, but I don't know where that came from. But you can do your own research on that. I just wanted to share this deck with you because I'm more and more intrigued as time goes by in these odd out-of-print decks that, very few people seem to know about, or at least I don't know about. So I'm very happy to have this, and I will see you all next time.